A recent reader poll from Guitar World produced a surprising result. According to the magazine's readers, the greatest rock guitarist in history isn't Jimi Hendrix, or Jimmy Page, or Eddie Van Halen. It's Brian May. Now, if you're a fan of Brian May and Queen, that result probably feels completely justified. But for a lot of people, myself included, the reaction was kind of like, wait, Brian May, number one of all time? So today I want to take a closer look at this surprising poll result and ask a simple question. Did Guitar World readers get this right? Well, the answer might actually be more interesting than you'd think. Rock guitar history is crowded with great players. There are musicians who didn't just write great solos, but changed the instrument itself. Think about guitarists like Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Eddie Van Halen, and in that company, compared to those guitarists, Brian May is a very different kind of animal. He's not usually described as a flashy player, he's definitely not a shredder, and he's rarely the first name that comes up in these endless greatest guitarist debates. Yet here he is, voted number one. So the real question is, what do Guitar World readers see in Brian May that makes them rank him above everyone else? One reason might be that Brian May has one of the most recognizable guitar tones ever recorded, and that tone starts with his guitar itself. It's the famous red special guitar, and unlike most guitar players, Brian May plays an instrument that he created himself. The famous red special was built by himself and his father when he was a teenager. The guitar was made from fireplace wood and motorcycle springs and a bunch of different handmade electronics. Somehow, this homespun instrument produced one of the most distinctive sounds in classic rock history. Now, Brian May didn't just develop a style around this unique guitar tone, he engineered an entirely unique personality, a DNA that was instantly recognizable. Another aspect of May's playing is that he never played straight up guitar solos. He arranged his guitars like an orchestra. He created layers of guitars, and when he did a solo like Killer Queen or Somebody to Love or Don't Stop Me Now, they weren't displays of technique, they're like mini compositions inside the song. So in this way, Brian May treats the guitar almost like a vocalist approaches their lines. And this is perfect for a group that's fronted by one of the greatest rock vocalists of all, Freddie Mercury. Now, here's the big question. Does any or all of this make Brian May the greatest rock guitarist of all time? This is where things get subjective, because greatness in guitar history can mean different things. It could mean innovation, it could mean technical skill, it could mean influence, songwriting, or tone. And depending on which of those you value the most, your answer might be very different. Maybe you think the title of greatest belongs to Hendrix because he was the greatest innovator. Maybe you'd argue for Page because he was so influential. And maybe you think it was Eddie Van Halen because he changed the way we look at the guitar, technically more than anyone. But what this poll result reminds us about is that Brian May deserves to be in the conversation. Not because he was the fastest guitarist, but because he created something rare, which is a guitar voice that nobody else has. So when Guitar World readers voted Brian May the greatest rock guitarist ever, they may not have been thinking about flash or technique or speed, they may have just been thinking about originality. And in that category, Brian May is almost impossible to beat. Now I want to hear from you. If you had to choose just one guitarist as the greatest in rock history, who would it be? Would it be Brian May? Would it be Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Eddie Van Halen, or someone else entirely different? Let me know in the comments below. Music Guru here, asking you to help us on our march to 10,000 subscribers.